What's up everyone? Today we have another video, and today I've been playing private test server PvP all day. That's all I've been doing, just getting a feel for it. So I decided to make a weapon tier list based off of how I felt the PvP duels are. This is mainly for duels, not too much maybe open world, but this is going to be my tier list from what I'm seeing is the most viable right now when it comes to duels. And before I get into this, I'm actually going to show you a couple of duels that I had up today. I got about like 3 good wins, so I'll go ahead and show you those now. Alright, so let's get straight into the tier list here. So first we have the axe, and honestly I don't think the axe is a bad weapon at all. It's not really, you know, the best on the damage side. It's really good for the CC to pull people towards you and to stun them with that void. That's pretty much like the best strong points. I think it's a good weapon to, you know, pair up with maybe like a hammer, or, you know, just to pair it up with something. But I don't really think it's best as a main weapon, so I'd put this probably in a B area. Alright, the bow. The bow right now is ridiculously strong. You know, right now when it comes to melee weapons, they're definitely not as good as the ranged weapons right now. Bow just does crazy damage. You can get 2-shotted, 3-shotted with the bow 100%. It does really good poison damage. It's really good for spacing. The bow is super viable, and to be completely honest, if you pair this up with like a musket, like, you're gonna be solid. Like, just the range damage is just so OP. So when it comes to the bow, I'm gonna put this at an S tier, no doubt. The damage is crazy, it pairs up really well with other weapons, and yeah, S tier for sure. Alright, now the fire staff. Fire staff is super good. One of my favorite weapons, honestly, right now when it comes to duels. I feel like the fire staff does a lot of quick burst damage, and it's really good for close range and long range. Honestly, you can really get a lot of good moves off. So fire staff, in my opinion, is definitely A tier. You can keep this in your hand almost the whole fight and do a lot of damage and be solid. So definitely A tier here for the fire stuff. Alright, so the next we have here is the ice gauntlet. Ice gauntlet is very solid, I'm not gonna lie. In the private test server, it doesn't feel as strong as it does in the regular servers, to be completely honest, but the ice gauntlet still is really good. Honestly, when that little ice storm that it has, it's probably one of the strongest hitting moves that it has. When you max out the turret that it has, that's pretty good also. But to be completely honest, it's not, you know, like the best. You can pair it up with the fire staff, and that's probably the best option with it, or maybe with the rapier. But other than that, I probably put the ice gauntlet at about a B tier with the axe here. Alright, the hatchet. Hatchet is really good. Hatchet does a lot of slash damage, but it kind of lacks behind a lot of other weapons. You know, it doesn't really do the most. You can just sit there and spam your moves. And I do have a clip that I showed where I actually got a kill with it, or a win, I guess you can say. But when it comes down to it, you're kind of a sitting duck, you know, slashing half the time, even though you do have like a CC negate because of the passive ability that it has. It's still not the best to just, you know, sit there. And most of the time when people see you pop that passive ability, they're just going to start running. So, you know, it's an easy counter and it's not really the best. So I'd say Hatchet is around a C level right now. All right, the Life Staff. Life Staff can be good, obviously, if you have, you know, complete focus build straight into healing. But honestly, it doesn't really play well. You know, like there's only one way you can play the Life Staff, and it's just to heal yourself over and over constantly. Other than that, it doesn't pair up that well. I've seen people use this with the Void Gauntlet, and it's honestly not the best combination either. So Life Staff, I would for sure put it in about the D range. Spear. Now, Spear is a really good weapon. I think the Spear is a really good combo weapon. It does really good critical damage. Like, the Spear is going to hit you for a lot if you really get the good moves off. And plus, the CCs that it has are really good. It knocks you down for a while, and they get to get free hits off anytime they're using the Spear. So, Spear is really good, really reliable weapon. Also, I put the Spear at an A level for sure. Alright, then we have the sword here, basically sword and shield. I was actually trying to use sword and shield today. The damage is actually not that bad, but I just feel like when it comes to the sword and shield, you know, the gap closer that it does have is really hard to hit, and the other moves just aren't that viable when it comes to PvP. I'd say the sword and shield is better as a PvE weapon. Obviously, the blocking, the guardings are good, you know, tactic to use, but against someone that's ranged, it's not really the best, and you're kind of just a sitting duck if you're going to sit there and block during a duel, so not really the best. I put this at a C. This weapon here is the musket. Now, right now the musket, I don't know if you know, but it's probably the most broken weapon in the game. You can two-shot people before they even get to touch you in a duel. Even open world PvP, musket just destroys you. Honestly, I feel like this weapon would be a little lower when they do patch it, but right now can only put it at an S tier. Even in PvE, it's just insane. The musket is just it's broken right now. Okay, that's why I'm putting it at an S tier. Until they fix it, it's gonna be an S tier weapon. It's just disgusting. The damage is crazy. Alright, so getting into next weapon here, we have the hammer. The hammer is really good. Definitely has the most CC out of all of the weapons. It's really good, but one thing about the hammer is that it's really predictable. You know, when you see someone pulling it out, you know they're gonna hit you with some type of CC. And most of the moves have, like, you know, a couple of frames before the move actually goes off. So it's kind of easy to predict. People can just roll and dodge all your CCs. But if you do get them off, like, I feel like it's a beginner weapon. The hammer is really like a beginner weapon when it comes to duels. So I'd give the hammer for sure a B. I don't think it's bad, but it's definitely there. Alright, the rapier. The rapier is a really good weapon if you know how to use it. You know, if you get those counters off, that can really punish the other player severely. The gap closer that it has, where you spin into them, it does a crazy amount of damage, and you kind of move past them, so you get more agility. Super good weapon for movement, especially if you wear like medium light armor combinations. You just roll around really quickly. The weapon just works all around really good. You can pair it up with any other weapon, or in like the intelligence tree, or what is it, the dexterity tree, and it's gonna work really well. Musket and rapier is just really well all around weapon. So I'd put this for sure at an A. So honestly, this is the list here. I honestly think this is a good list, in my opinion. Tell me what you guys think. I think when it comes to the meta right now, ranged weapons and magic weapons are really dominant. In the PTR, the Void Gauntlet is just so nice. I'm not gonna lie, the Void Gauntlet mixed with the Ice Gauntlet is a really nice combination. I've actually just kind of figured out some skills with that one. I don't know if I have a win with that one yet, but I'm definitely gonna go try to get that up for you guys. But that's gonna be it. Leave a comment, tell me what you want to know. next, or tell me what you want to see next in this game. Tell me what kind of content you want to see. Tell me what you think about this tier list, and tell me what you think is your top tier weapons, or at least like your S tier weapons. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, turn the post notifications, and I'll catch you guys later.
In the nighttime, it get tricky. Mess with me, we send that boy straight to whoop. Straight to the backseat. Put him work up in the nighttime, and it's getting tricky. I put my sweat and my tears in this bitch, so I swear to God it's getting busy.